as a community can do better.
What do you want to tell your children about this moment?
We need reforms.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we stand together.
Everybody's here together, black, white, brown, everybody.
A platform for progress in our community.
We need to do a better job.
I want to show that we can be peaceful.
This is just as much our fight as it is yours.
Discussing the problems of racial inequality and solutions to combat discrimination in a conversation for change.
We'll be able to build on this.
I never in a million years thought I would embrace a cop like that.
From Wish TV, we stand together.
We Stand Together. It's our series where the goal is to provide a voice to help promote change here in central Indiana.
And we continue tonight with a look at one man who's trying to make a difference by wearing two coats, literally, one for the spiritual side and the other one for safety.
Sometimes it hurts.
Reverend Charles Harrison is well known for his work with the Indy 10-Point Coalition.
Either a picture.
Working the streets with his team. Trying to head off crime. He's passionate about the cause. And staying in the community, wanting to make a difference. His church offering assistance and love in many forms to the neighborhood. And it's inside Barnes United Methodist Church that we sat down with the Reverend on one afternoon. Reverend Harrison, like we've never seen him before.
Let's start a few weeks back when the video of George Floyd was first released. What were your thoughts?
You know, I remember watching that video, and it really kind of took me off guard at first. I really couldn't hardly believe what I was seeing, you know, in today's time, you know, hearing Mr. Floyd, you know, tell the officers that he was having a hard time breathing. It just caused me to think back of, you know, in the 1960s. You know, as you know, I was born in 1960 during segregation, during the civil rights era, and it just took me back there to see the dehumanization of how Mr. Floyd was treated. And it made me angry. I started to get angry.
Harrison says the more he watched that now infamous video, the angrier he became. 8 minutes, 46 seconds, pure agony.
I think anybody that watched that video would have been disturbed by that. This one where, you know, the officer has his knee on his neck, and then you had two other officers, it looked like was trying to hold him down. And, you know, for him to say, I can't breathe, please let me up, and they did not do that. I think that touched all Americans and people across the world that watched that this is not right, this is dehumanizing, and this cannot be tolerated. And I think it just moved everybody. You know, this is the first time I can recall where I heard police unions, police officers condemn it.
He grew up in southern Indiana, but has been a part of the Indianapolis community for over 20 years. Changes, he says, have come, but not enough. And certainly not swift enough.
You mentioned changes. What needs to change, in your opinion?
Well, certainly the issues that plague Black America, you know, we really have to look at the issues of racism, injustices, inequalities that really stem from slavery. And I know people don't want to talk about that, but it really does. The disadvantage that Black people have had in this country, and the playing field has never really been equal. How do we begin to address that and fix this so that we change the mindset of both Black people and white people when it comes to this issue of race, when it comes to this issue of white privilege, what that means for Black people when we say that, what white people hear when we talk about white privilege. We really are going to have a conversation about that in this country and really be honest with one another so that we can begin to address the concerns that Black people are saying to this country are real and cannot be ignored.
Concerns that Harrison says have been ignored for far too long.
I'm now seeing my children fight for what I was fighting for when I was in my 20s, this whole issue of justice and equality and to deal with the inequities that exist in this country. And I watched my parents and grandparents fight for the same thing. And it is sad to me that I'm seeing my children and my grandchildren now fight for what we were fighting for. And you wonder, well, when is this ever going to end? Why we keep fighting these same battles? And hopefully, sometime in the future, we won't have to continue to fight these battles of race anymore in this country.
For people who are going to watch this, what's your final takeaway? What do you want them to know?
Well, that all of us can play a role in helping to bring about equality. That there are some conversations that we're having as Black America, but I think there's conversations that white America needs to have with itself about the issue of race. And we have to find common ground when we start talking about this issue of race and equality and injustices in this country, so that we can make this a better country for all of us. And I hope that people will seize upon this opportunity to have these significant conversations about police reform and what that means for Black America. And when they bring up the conversation of defunding police, which really means reallocating funds to programs that can help address some of the ills that affect our community. And let's have a real serious conversation about that, and let's be open to hearing from each other, because we need to hear some things as Black America too, and we need to be open, but white America needs to be open also. And I think if we're open to listening to each other and finding common ground, we can make this a better country.
Remember, you can also listen to our We Stand Together podcast anytime.
You can find tonight's episode and others online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
From Wish TV, we stand together. Watch, read, listen, and be a part of the conversation online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Find more episodes of We Stand Together and other podcasts from Wish TV online anytime at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.